Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of the Elder Scrolls Online Stuff and Things from me and Chris.
What's up?
Today we're going to be talking about world bosses slash events,
Open events.
occurrences, whatever you want to call them. So we'll start off. Where do you find them?
They're located in every zone that we've noticed so far, except the starter zones. Now, if that makes sense, kind of the first islands that you go to. It's always kind of the second islands you find. There's these skull and swords on the map that indicate that there is a open event or world boss there. Now, they're not instance; they're open world. You can go them with groups, or you can go them on your own, but preferably with groups. So there is different styles, isn't there, Dan?
Yeah, so the first one we came across was called Snapjaw. Now, Chris tried it on his own. It didn't quite work. He got close, but we found that you could do it between just the two of you. And this kind of style, that we'll call it, was just the boss. Now, we got on and we found another one, which was a group of elites. Now, we say a group of elites because there was one that sounded like a boss name, but he wasn't the one who necessarily dropped the good loot. We found that once we cleared them all, me and Chris had both found a rare.
Yeah.
And the last one we found, Chris, do you want to talk him through it with the skeletons?
Yeah, there was, when it was a level 7 actually, it was actually lower than Snapjaw, and it was leading up to the bosses. There was skeletons, and they were all elites, and I think we faced off about 6 or 7 of the skeletons before we got to the bosses.
And they were quite hard.
Yeah, they were pretty hard. They were harder than Snapjaw, put it that way. And once we got to the boss, we found even though it was level 7, they were still doing more damage than any of the other bosses we've encountered.
I think the problem we found was, like, we found it difficult even to get to them, and then once we had got there was 3 of them.
Yeah.
So I think what they might have implemented is by making them different, as in having solo bosses and groups of elites, and then kind of trash leading up to them, even though I wouldn't call them trash because they were pretty hard. We found that kind of wild bosses like Snapjaw could be done by 2. If you wanted to do the elite group of mobs,
I would recommend 3.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
We managed to do it with 2 because we picked them out one by one.
And then we got the
But
boss,
they were kind of
exactly.
grouped up, so it was quite difficult for us to do. And then the final one, we're not sure. We recommend it probably would have taken around 5 or 6 people to do it.
Yeah, they spawn a lot of ads.
We didn't even finish. Yeah, by the time we died, there was about 8 mobs on the screen, and we started off with 3.
Yeah.
So it wasn't good by us.
An extra perk you can actually get for this is the Fighter's Guild skill Silver Bolts. Now this does stun Daedra and Undead for 5 seconds, and it does do a little bit of extra damage to them, which is a
Yes, so
significant boost.
initially, Fighters Guild skills you get through Dark Anchors, and I found this skill, and I thought, you know what, this might come in handy. And when we were doing the ghosts, it literally meant that it didn't cost too much and didn't do too much damage, but it literally put them on the floor for quite a while.
Yeah, and it is an uninterruptible stun, which means if they're on the floor for 5 seconds, I can still attack them without them breaking the stun. It's pretty
Yeah,
useful.
so it's a knockback more than a stun. It just puts them on the floor, basically. And
Yeah.
we think, we haven't looked at them yet, but Fighters Guild skills are probably going to come in handy for boss fights and Dark Anchors.
Yeah. So guys, if you want any more content, please let us know in the comments below. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button, always helps. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And coming up next is probably going to be public dungeons.
Yeah.
So watch out for that.
See you
Thanks
soon.
very much for watching, and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.
Bye.